And here we are, Friday night, Dave in the AM with the Southern Fried Podcast and your Cornbread Nation. I want to tell you what, it's storming here. Hopefully, don't get too disrupted. It has been coming down. Started a little bit, I guess, around 5-ish, and has just been steadily rocking out there. Heavy rain, some wind. The typical summer storm. We knew it was coming, so here we are. But we're glad to be on here. Hopefully, it won't disrupt with the systems too much. Hello there on Instagram and all you on, oh my goodness, Facebook, Rumble, who else? Locals, some I can't see. So I think maybe YouTube, there's a bunch of them, and we're glad you're here. And it'll grow. We got several popping in. Dean can't be here. He was helping Mom with a medical when she was getting checked out and everything, and so he may have time to pop in the chat. We hope so. Shout out to Mom. Hope she's okay and getting better. And we went through that ourselves, going to doctors and people coming here and all that. And then James is he's got a lot going on. He's had a little hiatus. Just really got a lot going on in his life. He'll be back at some point, and I miss him. So it's just me tonight. You're stuck with me. We're going to talk a little bit about baseball. We're going to talk a little football. We're going to talk a little pro and college. And this was the week we were going to start doing some previews for college and NFL, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So we'll have some fun with that, and then just check in and see how you're doing. This is that kind of in that sports, and we'll touch on NASCAR just a little bit. We have a whole show on that, but we'll touch on it. But this is that time of year where sports is kind of in transition. You've got NBA's just closed out. We'll recognize that in a minute. You're really far into the NASCAR season. Still got a lot of races to go and the playoffs. Baseball will be getting into the summer months and moving towards playoff time. And so you got that. And then all the camps will be opened up. You just had an NBA draft. Somebody I work with was talking about somebody used to work with us. Their nephew or something was drafted by the Utah Jazz. Shout out to them. That's from this region. And I'm pretty sure that's who they said. But that was pretty cool to hear. And, the NFL camps, I mean, here we are right on the very cusp of July. There's already a lot of talk, but camps will open up. Be a lot more talk. Previews will start to happen. We're going to jump on it just a little early, get it right before the 4th of July, and then hammer in preseason games in August. Your first college game is at the end of August, and then lock and load for September for the NFL. And that'll just really get you going into the season. Baseball will end up during that season, and we get to think fondly of cold weather, those cold weather games in the NFL instead of the blistering heat that we have right now in the South with the high humidity. Some have always said they thought football started too early. It should wait and go on over in the new year a little bit more, because those first games are brutal. I can remember going to some Georgia games. Oh, I told you we got storms. You probably heard that one. That one, that's the loudest I've heard since I've been in the studio. That sounded close. Incoming. I was at a Georgia game a few times, but there was one I remember, and it was, oh my goodness, it was like a 1 o'clock game, early season, and we were miserable. I mean, I don't care. You're at your game and you love it, but those 12 o'clock kickoffs when it's brutal like that, you just drained and you're drenched by the end of the game. And you got a 3-hour drive. So give me the rain. I'd rather have some rain. At least you can cool off. But it was so hot that game, and I thought, this don't even feel right. It don't even feel like football. It just felt very awkward and odd. And I was like, I don't want nothing. I don't want to do that. But you love your team and you do that. So you deal with the bitter, the better, whatever. So anyway, we'll pop up on the screen a little bit and the logo there. And the champions. We are the champions. There you are. Oklahoma. I like the colors. I'm not a I'm not an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, but I do like the colors. And they made it a little close. They should have closed it out a little earlier, but maybe they wanted some more money on the line or something, as they always say. But they closed out. That's your champions, and they've had the parade. That's pictures from the parade, and whether you like NBA or not, hey, they're the champion, and it's a lot of work goes into that. And only one team can say that, and then everybody else says, "Oh, they didn't deserve it. They stole it. They this, they that." But you know what? They won, and without getting into all that, and I know there's been a lot of dissatisfaction out of some with the league. I myself have been, but I try not to. I still love basketball. I grew up loving basketball. I've always loved football and basketball the most, and I love baseball too. But I grew up playing a lot of basketball, and it really frustrating to me because I do love it so much that I've there's times I've stepped away and not paid much attention to them, but I kind of always come back a little bit, and it's not at the top of my depth chart anymore, but I still like it. I still like a lot of players. I would say that football is obviously my favorite, college and/or NFL, and then baseball, and then NBA comes along, and hockey for me. There's times I might even move hockey ahead of NBA, but if they could put a team back in Atlanta, I definitely would. But shout out to them. Salute. You got it done. Hopefully they won't play. I don't know if that offer's even came yet. I haven't checked to see if they offer to come to the White House. And hopefully they won't play politics and not go. You know what? This is a moment in your life. I don't care who the president is. If I win a championship, I want to go. That's a moment in time that may never come again. And I've always thought that was silly. Keep the politics out of your sports. And that's my problem. That's where I had the problem with NFL, with NBA. And it's not saying that those players can't have thoughts. They're Americans and they can. It's not saying that they can't be vocal about it. Yes, they can. But when we come together to play sports, sports should transcend that. If we had that attitude, if we have the attitude of the players today and teams about this whole White House thing, we would have never watched the great Jesse Owens win in Germany when it was all geared to dominate for the Germans, and he come in and he smoked them. Think about if he had that attitude and said, because of politics, I'm not going to play in your Olympics. No, he went and he smoked them, and we got a great, legend, absolute legend that he created there that day. And again, I know some people might disagree. That's okay. That's the beauty of being an American. But I say go and do it, and just have fun. You don't even have to talk to the president. The coach will do that. The owner or whatever. You just stand there. You're at the White House. You got a trip. You get to you get to get really. They roll out the red carpet for you. The media shows up. That's something I would want to tell my grandchildren. Like, hey, look where I was at in 2025. I got a trip to the White House because I was a champion. Anyway, that's enough on that. But I do hope that they will not do that. Spotlight. We're going to look at college. Started looking at college football, and I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm not going to take a lot of time, and I want to look at a couple things tonight. And I chose the Missouri Tigers. And there's a reason I chose them. We're going to go through every team, and we're going to look at some teams that's not SEC as well. We'll take a cursory look at the ACC, Big Ten, absolutely, and maybe even some independents. But I wanted to look at the Missouri Tigers because the Missouri Tigers, ever since they've come in the SEC, A lot of SEC fans have said you don't belong. They're the worst team. Da 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 da. They can't play with the big boys. Well, they need to pay attention because actually they have been playing really good football lately. And if you look at last season and you see where they were at, I didn't pull the whole thing down just because of space there. And you can see, although the slide thing is right there, but you can still see it. Texas, Georgia, Tennessee. Who's that right there? Missouri, 5-3 in the conference. They had a winning record in the conference. They were 10-3 overall, 7-0 at home. So, hello, all you Missouri haters. Is this a fluke, or is this just, what is this? Are we going to give them some credit? I'm just asking. I'm not a Missouri fan, but and they ended up the season. They beat Iowa, and you can see their ranking there as they won that game. Hey, Broski Bear. Yes, brother. Let's talk some sports. Absolutely. And yes, we're going to talk about players in just a second. And yes, I hope I pronounced his name right. Bo Prabula. And Broski said he's a Central PA kid who transferred Penn State to Missouri. Yes, you're one slide ahead of me, but thanks for putting that in there. We're going to talk about that. Let me just get through a little bit of this. If you're looking into, and he is a big part of what I'm fixing to talk about, there is another kid there. I don't think they have a quarterback controversy, but it's open season, and they will pick out there. If he's that guy, he'll prove that in the camp. But obviously, they brought him there believing he's going to be the guy. He's a really good runner. I don't remember if I've watched him play, but they're real odd talk about him. But this is, and you can see their win streak there was I had 1-3. Now away they were 2-3. They didn't play good away, but for them, this is a killer schedule for them coming up. And if they don't do it, it's their own fault. If they don't play better, and I'm not saying do it by winning the SEC. That's not going to happen. But the question would be: is it possible? Is it possible that the Missouri Tigers could get in the football playoff? Well, if they finish strong as they should, it's absolutely a possibility. So, and please disagree. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying that it's there. They've got they're playing very well. They've brought in some kids. They should be good, and the schedule is really strong. You see them start out with the mighty Central Arkansas, okay, and then you move into Kansas, and you move just put there. Then you see now this is a big game when you look at we got Louisiana, but then you got South Carolina. That's a big game, and that game I think will go a long way towards telling what kind of a season they're going to have. South Carolina's no slouch either. They played some really good football last year at times. And I do think the little I'm going to be nice. I have different names for South Carolina's coach, but I love to watch his post-game press conferences when he loses. He really carries his feelings on his shoulders. But he has got them playing good. That's a big game for these two teams. Big game. And so you see that and you're like, okay. And then and I'm sorry, my thing shifted over there. I actually shifted down. UMass, that should be a win. Okay, then Alabama. And I don't think they're going to beat Alabama, but that'd be a heck of a game to watch, especially if they come out of the South Carolina game with a win. And I think they could win that game against South Carolina. That's way off. I mean, that's September 20th. But I think if the right things fall in place for them, they could win that game. They could go into the Alabama game without a loss. Auburn is not the Auburn of old. That's a winnable game. Vanderbilt has been playing better, still a winnable game. Okay, Texas A&M, who I'm not sure what they're going to be yet, could be a loss. but they easily could win that game. A bit, and so 3 big games in a row here: Mississippi State, uh, and Oklahoma, a big game, and Arkansas, who has played well. So the first part of the schedule is a cakewalk. If they get past South Carolina, they're going to roll into the Alabama game without a loss. They'll probably lose that game, but the rest of those games they should be in, with maybe one exception. And I'm not saying they're out of any game. Just that I don't think they'll win it. Some people are saying they should only have 2 losses this season. I think it'll be at least 3, maybe 4, but the potential is there. Broski Bear says that Prabula was Alar's backup the past 2 seasons. They're both exact opposite style quarterbacks. Prabula's a white kid who can run. Yes, that's what I've read about him. He's really good on the run. He has serious wheels. He can throw too. So, and their offense is suited to something like that. It absolutely is. And probably I might have to tweak it just a little bit. But I want to tell you, some teams have underestimated Missouri. And Georgia was one of them. And I remember that game when they come in and Georgia ended up winning, but they gave them everything they wanted. I'm telling you, this is a good team. Is there some teams that probably could be better in the SEC than them? Probably. But this season is a way for Missouri to tell the world we belong in the SEC. If they don't stand up, then I'll be the first one to say, okay, maybe the SEC needs to make a change. If they collapse, because they're really set up, I think, for a strong run. And it's on Missouri. And I think they're okay with that. I don't think that they have a bit of problem with and you've kind of said that before, Broski, that both these teams have the sleeper potential. So whoever wins that game, I think, is the one that comes out and makes that run. Possibly. I mean, it's not a killer if you lose, especially if you come in without a loss. But that's a big game. And I like games like that. That's not, people look through the SEC schedule and they'll go, they want to see when Texas and Alabama, Texas and Georgia, Tennessee and Florida and different ones play. This will be a great, and they haven't given the time on it. This would be one of those great 7:00 kickoffs, ESPN. I'm all in. I'm watching that game. I'm telling you, that would be a great game. It's seriously deep to see. The Big Ten is seriously deep to see if the SEC can keep up. Well, Georgia is, I think, will be very strong. Texas will. And there's 3 or 4 other teams that probably have a chance to play up there. And so it's Missouri. Who knows? Their fan base is real supportive. But this is I think maybe a little put up or shut up. Remember the year that the football player jumped on Georgia and said, we play old man football here, and they come in and waxed them. They seem to have some pretty good depth. Now, I do want to go to the next slide. And here's some top players. You see the player we've been talking about, Bo Prabula. And Broski, is he out of time after this, or has he got one season he could use as a redshirt senior, or is this it? That'd be my question. I don't know the answer. But the prognosticators only have them about 7.5 to 8 at FanDuel anyway, Sportsbook. Kind of clip that off. I think they got a chance to be more than that, but they also have that. They could possibly settle in right there. The end of that schedule is big games, and let's see what kind of confidence they're playing with. If their offense is playing really tough, I mean, like really pushing people like it has, I mean, they've put up some pretty big numbers. We'll see what this quarterback can do. There's some talent here. This is not the top. This is not the number 1 or 2 team in the SEC, but they got a chance to really be right there in the mix. And because it's a 12-team playoff, that's my point. Is it a possibility they could make the playoffs? I say yes. Do I think they'll do it? I don't know. Some part of me says yay. Some says no, it's Missouri. No, they'll fold up. Of course, injuries, you never know what's going to happen. But this is your look at Missouri football, and I'm excited. I always get excited when we'll start talking football. And I think there's a possibility that, you know, they could sneak up and beat somebody that's not expecting it. And, you know, listen, I don't want to, if you're a Missouri fan, don't take it wrong that I said you probably don't beat Alabama. I'm not saying you can't. Don't take it that way. I'm not saying you can't. And I think it would be killer to see that because I like chaos. And, you know, there's nobody knows exactly a lot of this. Nobody knows exactly how good Alabama's going to be. You know, they got talent all over the field, but there's, you know, the tension is there a little bit in Alabama. Is this coach going to get them back at the top or not? And we'll just have to see what happens. That's the fun part about it. It's fun to talk about it. And this team could put a hurting on somebody any given Saturday, and the team that gets, you know, run up and down the field and possibly even blown out is going to be sitting there going, what happened? So don't overlook Missouri. That's all I'll say. Don't overlook them. And South Carolina, too. We'll cover South Carolina. We might cover them next week. We'll cover one a week. Maybe have to do two on some of them just to keep up, but we'll try to keep them singular. And next week we'll add in another conferences team too. I just doing one because the SEC, broski, is the best conference. We're going to start off with just SEC, but we'll add in. I'm joking around. We'll add in next week. We'll add in one from the Big Ten and one from the ACC. At least some of them. I don't know if I'll cover all of them, but we'll cover some of them. We got to talk about Clemson, Florida State, the Yellow Jackets. I hate them. I can't hide that. I try to be very balanced on here. I try not to. But, I'm just kidding. If you're a Yellow Jackets fan, I do like you, Coach. We'll talk about that down the road a little bit. But who knows? I've always said with all the talent that's in Atlanta, I know it's a engineering school, different things, but come on. Sign them up in some of those classes at Gym 101 or something. Get your players in there and let's go at it. That's always a big game for Georgia and Georgia Tech. All right, little quick look at baseball as we roll along. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but do want to look at the standings a little bit. The Yankees are in a dogfight with the Rays. Go figure. And Toronto is only 3 games back. The Yankees have a good record. They're not the number one dog. They're not, even in the American League, but they do have a good record, but probably not as good as they think they should have. And they're fighting. I mean, they could fall out of that top spot. And even Boston is only 7 games back. There's still time. Things can happen. They play a lot of games against each other. Baltimore's probably not going to make any kind of rebound there, but on the outside chance, Boston. But Toronto is certainly in the mix, and so is Tampa. We'll see how it progresses. Detroit walking the dog on the American League at 51-31, really killing it. And they are locking that division up. Cleveland is about to go more than 10 games behind them, and they're on cruise control, looks like, right now. Shout out to Detroit Tigers. Looking great. Houston, another team that's looking really good, coming in second as best in the American League, 48-33. They've won 4 in a row. They, too, are starting to put some distance between them and the rest of the teams in their division. And the rest of them are playing around 500, except for the lowly A's. Oh, my goodness. That's just a team that gives players to other people. So there's your American League look. National League. You know, the Braves swept the Mets and then split with them on a recent series. The Braves have actually played well. They're tied with Philly, I think, in the division over the last 10. The Mets have stumbled a little bit. Atlanta's still way back, but they're right there at that 10. I don't think they're going to make a big run, but they are going to make it interesting for some people. But Philly, there's a big series with Philly. We'll see what happens there. This is the Braves' last stand. Andrew Marshall, go Vols. There's my Vol fans in the house. Hey, we're gonna need you to get in here and talk about them. We talk about them in the next week, a couple of weeks. We're doing a team a week. We just talked about Missouri, but I do want to get your thoughts on the Vols. Absolutely. Find out who your quarterback's going to be. Tell me what you're hearing. Miami and the lowly Washington team are way out. Look at the Cubs. The Cubs at the top of their division over Milwaukee. That's a little bit of a shocker for me. I thought Milwaukee would outplay there. And honestly, I thought St. Louis might actually go ahead of the Cubs. You go Cubs. You deserve it. You've had your off seasons for a long time. You did win the championship, but anyway, you can see that. And the Dodgers, I mean, they've got like, I don't know if it's the biggest payroll in baseball, but it's really close, if not. And 51-31. They also are, and San Diego's no slouch. They're starting to put some distance between them and San Francisco. Zona and the lowly Colorado Rockies, 18-63. Is it time to end the experiment of baseball in Colorado? I know that would be sacrilege for people to hear, but it's just they have had some seasons where they were really good. The Todd Helton year, some others, but they just can't seem to ever put it together for a championship run. And I don't know. I think it's a beautiful setting, but yes, go Braves. They got to go better than they have been, but they're, 6-4 over the last 10. Hey, Angry Conservative, how you doing, buddy? Appreciate you coming over here, bringing some folks. God bless you. Talking a little sports. And yes, he did, broski. Nico transferred from Tennessee, UCLA. Yeah, what a mess. What a mess. And was Joey, he was a backup there, right? He wasn't the starter, was he, or was he? I can't remember. But yeah, these kids going every which way. Nico was supposed to be the dog. No pun intended. Well, he could be, Smokey. And he didn't, he's out on he left on a jet plane. We'll say that. And they were glad to see him go. Apparently he had a problem with showing up and taking care of business. So we'll see how he does on the left coast. There you go, UCLA. He's got talent. There's no doubt he has talent. He's got to get that head right. So a little look at baseball there. We'll move ahead, and we're going to look at the NFC West. I'd said the AFC West, but I got to looking at the NFC West, and I decided to stay there. There's our boy from the Georgia Bulldogs, Stafford, big arm, getting a little long in the tooth. Hello, Miss Cindy. Getting a little long in the tooth, but still bringing it. And by the way, he just visited back. He just went back to him and his wife, who was a Georgia cheerleader. They haven't been back to Georgia in one heck of a long time. And a lot of people have been not happy about that. They felt like that he's not, that he dissed them a little bit. I'm not going to go there, but there were some people not happy about that. Anyway, they did go back with all their kids. They've got several kids. And, hey, Cindy, thanks for being here. God bless y'all. And I think it was a good visit from everything that I've read. And they said it was, they were showing their kids where they played. The kids are really excited about being there. I think it's all girls, if I remember right. All the kids are girls. They're beautiful. And I like Stafford. No, he didn't win it all while he was at Georgia, but he is well thought of. Some say he was the best, one, if not really close to it, the best quarterback. I know some people disagree. Some say he was the best quarterback Georgia ever had. for pure talent and arm strength. I'm not saying he didn't get it done as far as championships, but I'm saying just pure talent that this guy had more than anybody at quarterback that Georgia's ever had. That is a good debate. That's a good debate. So anyway, then we see this division, and I put the coloring wrong when I was fixing it up. It looked good. When it got on here, it looks horrible. So sorry for the blending colors here. This is predictions. I didn't come up with these. I just grabbed some that I thought represented a cross section of what people are saying. And you'll notice that there's a big fall there from the San Francisco 49ers. And you got the Rams that are looking to be and they're talented. They're very talented. San Francisco's lost some people. Arizona's a team on the move. Seattle. There's different predictions on them from being really good to being really bad. I say they got to prove it first. I'm okay. I think that's a little low on the win total for them, to be honest. And I might say that's just slightly high for the Rams, but they could absolutely get there. I'm not saying they can't. But I think that's a little low maybe on San Francisco too. One under 500. I'm not sure I'm going there. Every time people count them out, who knows? Let's catch up with Broski here. He has information here. Joy, how you say his name? Aluar was the starter at App State the past 2 seasons. He transferred to UCLA. And same offseason he transferred to Tennessee. Okay. And then Baker Mayfield MV odds around plus 3,000, 3,300. Okay. You know what? Just to take a side road here, just for a brief minute, run that rabbit because he brought it up. Yes, Baker Mayfield can be this cocky guy, but I got to say I do like him as a player. I may not like him as a guy that I met. I never met him. And maybe I wouldn't like his attitude. Maybe. But I like his moxie. I'll tell you, I like that guy. I think people want to play for him. He's not afraid to mix it up. He's tough. And, he caught a lot of flack for that game in college where he felt like they dissed him, they wouldn't shake his hand. And I'm not saying it's right what he did out there towards their sideline, but I'm going to tell you what, that is one of the most passionate I've ever seen a college player like, let's get it on, and played with that kind of energy. And that was a bad mistake. First of all, I don't believe in having bad sportsmanship anyway. And whether you like the guy or not, shake the hand. You know what? You're a captain, and you're sent to the center of the field as a captain. Your job is not to diss any player. Shake hands. When you get on the field, you strap up the helmet. You put the helmet right there between the numbers, and you hit them hard as you can. That was not right for that team to do that. Again, I'm not saying his response was, but I'll be honest with you, when I saw that, I said, they better watch out. This guy has now got poster board material in his brain, and he is going to give everything he's got. And I'm telling you, mission control, the rest of the team were like, let's go. Well, who was that? Was that Kansas? I can't remember now. Oh, my gosh. Stupid. Yeah, don't shake his hand again. Of course, he got in some trouble. You know what, right now? He don't care. He don't care. He did it. He's not sorry about it. And it's one of those things in sports where you just look back and go, yeah, I remember the time. I like Baker, though. He's had some bad games, too. He's had some games where you're like, what's wrong with this guy? I mean, but he is in a perfect situation, I believe. And his stats show it. And by the way, right on time, Broski, Baker Mayfield 2024 stats. Thank you, sir. 4,500 yards. That's killer. 41 TDs, 71.4 completion, 16 interceptions. He will, because he's going to try to throw it in there. He's going to try to muscle it up, get in there. If he cut down on his INTs, and if the Bucs' team have a better record than they did last season, he could be the MVP. You're correct. You are correct. And his numbers were amazing. And that's a team you don't want to mess with because he is a perfect fit for that style. It just wasn't the right fit for him. Well, of course, Cleveland, my God, that's where quarterbacks go to die. Is it not? That's where even the best of the best quarterbacks, they just go to die. I'm not dissing Cleveland, but it's the truth. I mean, every quarterback they have, it seems like that goes there, ends up getting hurt. It's a career ender. They just suck. I don't know what it is about going to Cleveland. I mean, every quarterback they get. I remember when who was it that came out? I think he played for Cleveland. Did he? Couch from Kentucky, highly ranked player. Oh my gosh! I mean, there's just so many. This is not a Cleveland discussion, but it's not the fans. I love the fans, and I'm not a Cleveland hater. Let's face it, they suck. Hey, I'm a Falcons fan. I get it. We do too a lot of times, although I think our team's going to do pretty good. So anyway, let's look a little deeper. So there's this is what a lot of people are predicting. I say you're crazy to put 49ers down that low. I know they got some problems, but yes, I do believe, sir, Penix will be legit. I like that kid. I could say kid because I'm a heck of a lot older than him. All right, here we go. The Los Angeles Rams depth chart. This is a pretty loaded team. Of course, you got Stafford. I love that kid at running back, Kyron Williams. I absolutely love him. And Puka, when I first heard his name, Nakua, and I've been in fantasy sports for a long time, and I thought, who is this guy? And I was like, okay, he just keeps having big games. And he is all-star. He's among the league leaders in catches and yards every season now. Devontae Adams. We know what Devontae is. And then Atwell, the third receiver. Higbee is a former Cincinnati player, and he's legit great. I mean, I like him. I really like that guy. We see the offensive line. And then the depth chart on down as we look at it. I mean, if Stafford has to miss a game, Garoppolo, even at his stage in his career, is not a joke. And look down there who they have at the backup at running back. You remember that guy? From the national champion Michigan Wolverines? Blake Corum. No slouch. This guy is legit NFL talent. And there's some, we won't highlight every player, but just looking through their roster. Look down there at that third string. He's still there. I heard he's made some really good improvements. He's got his life in order. He's working with Stafford. He's kind of taking him under his wing. I'm anxious to see how he does in preseason football. Two-time college football champion Stetson Bennett, still on the team, still there, still counted on, and we'll see what he's got. I would like to see I'd like to see how he does. Broski Bear come in and says the 49ers have the easiest schedule. They play the AFC and NFC South. Yes, I think that prediction is way low. And that's why I put it there, because I thought it was controversial when I saw it. So just looking through the depth chart, okay, that's about it there. But this is a legit, really good offensive team. Home run hitter in Kyron, Nakua, Adams. You got the big gunslinger, Stafford, slinging it. You've got Corum who can come in. And this is a really, really good team. And the line is decent enough, and they'll be okay. Broski believes the 49ers are a definite sleeper team in the NFC. Could be, brother. Could be. Let's look at the defense. They're a base 3-4. And they have had some change-outs to this over the last couple of years, but this is still a really good defense. Look at Jared Verse. He's a very good player. Byron Young. Some really good players here on the team. So, like I said, we'll see what they got. But this is your depth chart as of right now for them, and we'll see what happens. Arizona Cardinals depth chart. Coach Kyler Murray, the baseball player who plays a really good. He's really good. He seemed to have gotten straightened out. James Conner, who always is not talked about as one of the best running backs. He just goes out there and gets it done. I like Conner. Of course, we at Georgia remember Marvin Harrison Jr. a lot. He remembers us too. And yes, it was a clean hit. Sorry. I love the kid. I loved his dad. I had his dad on my fantasy teams. I know you may not care about fantasy teams, but I do. and did, and I love that guy. His dad, and this kid is well, we saw his talent, and if they were just a little more time on that clock, Georgia would have been in trouble. I mean, that was an amazing team. Yes, Broski, I'm giving them credit. Giving them credit. That was a very good team that played Georgia. I like Dortch. He's a good player. Wilson. But Harrison is the guy, is the dude there. And I do like McBride at tight end. He's a good tight end. He's not bad. Paris Johnson Jr., some young talent coming along. And Jonah Williams. You see the line there. Brissett is okay. He's serviceable as the backup, but he can get you a game or two. There's not a problem there. Trey Benson, a player that's been around a little bit. He's solid. He can get you a tough yard. I do like Zay Jones at wide receiver. I'm a big fan of Zay Jones. So they've got some players here that'll be coming on as well. So some of those third stringers, there's some rookies in there, and there's a couple of names back there that look really good. So that's your offense. And you go to defense. Josh Sweat is a beast. Walter Nolan, very, very good. Looking across the front of this thing, there's some Buda Baker. Boy, I like Buda Baker. I've always liked him. He's a hitter. I like him. So you can see the defense. Calais Campbell, late in his career, second team, was a starter at one point. He was an awesome starter. He was a big sack guy, good on the run. I like that guy. He's late in his career, but this is a guy that come in and help you. That's a good pickup by them. Played with the Falcons some, but money squeezed him out. And he's not a starter anymore, but that guy's been playing a long time, and he's great. Broski says the Rams looking tough. Yeah, they are. I mean, they're a very good team. They are a very good team. But do you think better than Philly? Dean Potts, my co-host, who can't be with us tonight, is making his presence known. Chris Sells on the Brave injury list. Yeah, the Braves. My gosh, the Braves. Come on. Just looking at some of those young players that have been drafted, and so they've got some nice fill-in spots here. If you know some of those names, there's some good names in there. There they are, the San Francisco 49ers. I grew up hating this team. Yes, that's awful strong language. It's the absolute truth because they used to kill us. I am that Falcon fan who had to endure. I'm the Falcon fan that had to endure Jerry Rice's 5 TDs. Oh, my gosh. I can't remember that cornerback, but he was a legend for how bad he was in that game. He had no clue what Jerry Rice was going to do. I know that's going back some, but, hey, I like to bring back the old day too. And I'll be the first to tell you, I was a little shocked. I didn't think that Brock Purdy was going to turn out the way he has. I'm really impressed by him. He's a heck of a player. He's an NFL definitely all-star. He's a winner. I mean, just say it. He's a winner. And it's not his fault that they've had injuries. They've had players hold out. There are some changes on this team. You do see a player missing that was there that's been moved on. That happens. But let me tell you, this team is still really good. The people that think that the 49ers don't have what it takes. Now, there are keys to it. First of all, Christian McCaffrey, who is amazing when he's healthy, yes, has to stay healthy. The 49ers have got to do a better job of not overplaying him. You got to get this guy some rest. You got to keep him healthy. Ayuk, he's also had some injuries. That's a challenge. Now, a player that a lot of people have forgotten about. I haven't forgotten about him. Andrew Marshall, you still out there? If you are, give a shout out here because you're going to agree with me. I've been watching this guy come on for a few years, and last year he had a really good season. Jawan Jennings is a monster. This guy has the size, the hands, the speed. They don't lose much, I'm going to tell you. People around the league that haven't paid attention and knew how good this guy was in college and haven't really paid attention. It took him a while to kind of get going. on a really good team. This guy is, I'm telling you, he's got all-star written all over him. This guy is killer. I like this guy. Ricky Pearsall, I like him. This is a good offensive unit. And, of course, George Kittle, a few years on him, but George Kittle can still do it. And they've got arguably the best fullback in the league. Trent Williams, very good. This is a decent offensive line. Trent Williams is an anchor there. Mac Jones backs up Purdy. There are some decent fill-in pieces. I don't know. I don't think they're very deep. Matt Hennessy at center has been around a little bit, but he's not that old. He can still play, but he's not a starter. But he can fill in for you. He can get some things done. So depth might be a problem for them, but this team is really good. And you flip it around on, and I didn't look at special teams. I didn't look at those this time. Let's catch up here. Rams played the Eagles. Let me start here. I missed one. The Rams might be better this season, but the Eagles will be tough. Eagles are still stacked in the trenches, skilled players in offense, and now secondary and nice pass rush. I agree with all of that. Rams played Eagles the best of any team last season. That's a good team, man. Dean Chase Elliott was penalized for last Saturday's race, fined $40,000. Doc Donor reports for frame measurements infraction against Spire Motorsports. Well, there goes the Chase Elliott. What's happened with him, man? It's like they're supposed to be really good, and he is good, and then stupidity. Ricky Teflon Pearsall will be good. Yes, this is a guy that can get you really big catches at crucial times. I like it. I like that guy. I like that player. The defense, a 4-3. Are you a fan of 3-4 or 4-3? I've always kind of liked 4-3. 3-4 got to be the everybody fell in love with the 3-4. I've just always kind of liked the 4-3 base for me. There's that young player, great player, Michael Williams, be joining in there. Nick Bosa, awesome player. As you know, Fred Warner, been around a while. He still gets it done. And these are not bad players. I'm just picking out a few. So you can see there they've got some dang good players on defense. And so we'll see. We'll see. I'll get it in a minute. Sorry, my granddaughter was asking me a question. You can go ahead and get it, I guess. If you. Oh, I misunderstood the messaging. Sorry. Broski says, I'm a 4-3 guy. I like the 4-2-5 the best. I would agree with that. I do like that setup. The 3-4 to me, you just get, if you miss your lanes, it's home run city. I just don't like that. It really puts a lot of pressure on that interior, and big plays happen out of that. Of course, there's pluses and minuses with all of it, but I've never liked a team that I know they bring a linebacker, but just put the 4 up there. And if you've got a lot of speed there at linebacker, and of course with 5 secondaries players, you're covering them. It's hard to find spots to throw to, and you can your safeties can come up and support. And if you've got really good linebackers, you can still have one come up and support on the run. And so I do like that. It's become a favorite of a lot of teams. Dean also says next 5 weeks, NASCAR Cup Series will be on TNT. Thank you for that. They've been on Amazon Prime for several weeks, 4 or 5, and they're now switching around. All right, let's move on. And the last one today is the Seattle Seahawks. Now, this team has got a lot of talent. I mean, a lot of talent. And is it possible that Seattle could only win 5 games? Sure. But this team could also do a lot. This team could really kick a lot of teams' tails. And let's just look at reasons why, because I think there's a lot of them. First of all, I do know it starts with the quarterback, and some people are like Sam Darnold, some people don't. But let me tell you about Sam Darnold. He can make all the throws. Sam Darnold can make all the throws. Got to stay healthy, just like any team's quarterback. Got to protect this guy. This guy is amazing when he's on. When he's off, and it get ugly. But look who the backups are. They got options. I know he's young, both of them. But you got Jalen Milroe and Drew Lock. You have options. So it's okay. You might tweak your offense just a little bit, but this team can win. You have an absolute all-star at running back. This guy is all-pro. Kenneth Walker III. Got to keep him healthy too. Look at these receivers. I gotta be honest with you. This receiving core has a possibility. The possibility as a three-player threesome there to be the best in this division. Possibility. Jackson, of course, we know where he came from, Broski. And Jigba is amazing talent. He has now came on. It took him a little while to kind of really get going. They had players in front of him. Cooper Kupp, we know what he can do. This guy's going to, if he can stay healthy, he's been catching up 100 or more passes a year. Even getting a little age on him just a little bit. This guy will still walk the dog on most players in the NFL, as he's a great route runner. And I'm going to tell you, Scantling is no slouch. That's a good player. This is an outstanding wide receiver core, and I like Noah Fant. Noah Fant is a good tight end. Can the line keep them healthy? Charles Cross is coming in. We'll see. But this is a good offensive team. If you go back to the next row, you've got Charbonnet. And I know some people don't like him, but this guy can come in and he plays hard. I like him. I do like him. And if you go back, not to diss any player here, but if you go back to the third level, Kenny McIntosh is, to me, a sleeper. He played really well at Georgia. He's had some injuries. This guy is a do-it-all kind of player. He will get to play a lot this year, I predict, because Walker's had some injury issues. This guy is, it's not just because he was at Georgia. I just track him and see how they do in the NFL, and I think this is a player that can do some things. That's what I think is the problem, Broski, and you're all over it. And that's the problem. And that's where your quarterback gets hurt, and that's where you stall out. So if they're going to be bad, it's because of that. You go to the defense, there's some really good players here. Oh, my gosh. Jaron Reed, Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence. Are you hearing these names? Do you know who these people are? They are amazing. Josh Jobe, Julian Love, Devon Witherspoon. This is a really good group here on defense. They will be fine on defense. They will be absolutely fine. I tell you, watch this team. Shaquille Griffin back there in the second level. Amazing. Let me catch up here a little bit. Dean has said, yes, they have been on a winning streak, Dean. Absolutely. Major League Baseball stars July 8 at Truist Park, home of the Braves. And, yes, their boy is playing in the Home Run Derby. Yes, we were both thinking the same thing. Absolutely. Thank you. Dean is our Braves roving scout, and he gives us our Braves update, and I appreciate that. Not many expecting Sam Darnold to light up this season. He lit up last season with a good team, but he's solid. But the question is, does Milroe get an opportunity? And what would he do with it? Now, I know he caught some flack. But this guy is very, very talented. Locke has a big arm. They still have options. If it's on the quarterback, they might have to change the offense up just a little bit, but Milroe is a player. Come on, Broski. Come on, man. That's rough. Mildew. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's remove that. We'll come back up. He's not terrible, dude. He's got a lot of talent. I'm going to tell you better watch him. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Michael Vick. A little bit. And don't say he was terrible. His problem was fumbling. Well, she's got problems with her patriotism for the country. Come on, man. That's your look at the NFC West. The Rams are the beast in the West. We'll go to another division next week, and we'll look at more SEC teams, and we'll pull a team from the ACC and Big Ten. Broski Bear. I want to hear what he's got to say on that. Thank you for all being in here. We'll stay on for a few more minutes. I got to get ready for our 8 o'clock show, but Dean, wow. That's stepping out on a limb, brother. I like it, though. I like it. I'd like to see him do it. Boy, that's stepping out on a limb. That's almost as bad as saying Kyle Busch will win the next race. Come on, man. Of course, we got Atlanta coming up. Okay. He can talk golf, too. I'll keep up a little bit. I always watch Augusta. I will talk golf just for a second, and we will talk golf. Like I said, we talk all sports. Doesn't matter. We can talk it. What was your take on the Scheffler issue with the police at the one match? What do you think about that? Do you think it was over? Was he being that cocky, I'm a star golfer, or was it overzealous police? I mean, I know it got kind of washed out a little bit. You know, what was your take on that, or anybody else? It's not often that you see a golfer in a legal issue like that. You know, I mean, we've had those that have been caught with DUI and stuff like that, but not where they're being, you know, jumping on the car and everything. Yes, Dean, you do like. There's a lot of people like that, like the dark horses. I get that. Slide on over here. In a minute. Broski says, I don't have a good feel for what happened there. I really don't. It's a weird deal, man. It was absolutely a weird deal. Great respect for the golfers. It's hard to go out there. People don't realize just how, I mean, a lot of people do, but people that are not golf fans don't realize just how taxing it is to stay on that circuit. The travel, the practice sessions, I mean, just continuing to play all kinds of, you know, different heats and stuff and up, down hills. And it'll wear on you. And if you have, you know, once Tiger got some injuries on him in the back and knees and stuff, it messed his game up because he couldn't drive the ball like he used to. And throughout a match, he would start tightening up. So it's people just don't realize how difficult that is to stay out there. And some people say, well, why don't they play more? Well, you just got to have, sometimes you got to rest. Yeah, even for money, you're thinking, I've got to rest my body to fight for the championship. He was at the PGA Championships at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, 12 minutes from me in May. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Quail Hollow. You know, golf places, they have the best names for like their clubhouse or the course or whatever. I'm going to tell you, we've got some nice golf courses over here in this area where I'm at, Broski. And I mean, the Bear Trace, and there's some nice courses over this way that have been, there's a new one up on the mountain at the Hilton up there. A lot of people like playing that, but they're quality. They're absolute quality. Of course, I'm not going to say we can match what is out at, at South Carolina, at Myrtle Beach or nothing like that, or some other places, but there is some nice golf courses around here. I remember, Dean remembers another one, Bill Elliott, $1 Million Bill. Okay. That's a pretty cool name to have. That was a win for Scotty Scheffler. He's a great player. no doubt. Solid. The Battlefield Golf Course. Well, I wouldn't say that's one of our best ones, but a lot of people like playing the Battlefield. The only problem there is it floods when it rains a lot, like right now. And but that's a good course. It's not bad. I'm not dissing it. It's not championship level for PGA, but it's a good local course. Dean, have you ever played a round of golf? I actually have. I'm not a golfer. I won't say I am, but I have played a round in Texas, Dumas, Texas. Played out there and enjoyed it. Had a great time. I didn't lose my ball. I didn't slice. I need to work on my driving. I didn't have a wrong drive, and my putting was not real good. I had never played. I also kept a good eye out for the rattlers they told me that would come out, and I made sure that I didn't come across any rattlers. Yeah, I've done the top golf. I am just not, and especially at my age now, I can't hit the ball a long way. I just can't. Bros, Angry Conservative, if you're still around, are you a golfer? You like golfing? I like to watch it. I do. I'll say this: I like the. I don't know if you've been watching the. The package has been sent to the coach, the old ball coach, Chucky, but he had some golf stuff sent to him. I do like the golf clothes. I mean, the shirts are awesome. I love the golf polos. Those are cool. I love those. The coloring, the way they feel, the way they make those, and they've got some other cool stuff too. I do like that. They market real well with their stuff, and again, if you get to play on a really good course, it's beautiful, especially if you got water around. And hey, who doesn't like to go to the clubhouse and kick back? Well, I'll say belly up. I don't do it anymore, but belly up with your friends after a long day on the course. Hey, that's right, Dean. You go, brother. Absolutely. You keep on, man. I like it. Yeah. Hey, life happens. You got things that happen. You're where you needed to be, and we'll have you here next time in studio. Absolutely. I'm kind of glad you wasn't coming because that storm was no joke. I think it's moved on now, but that storm was rocking around here for a little bit. So next week we will look at another NFL division. We will look at three college teams, one SEC, one ACC, one Big Ten. We'll catch up on the baseball, racing, all those things. My granddaughter's hand, who doesn't want to see her face on the screen. If you can't show your face, don't show your hands. Of course, I shouldn't have said that. She'll soon be 13, so she's been in my ear hole. We got to order my stuff. We got to get my gifts. That's right, Dean. You take care of your mom. That is much more important than anything in life. Take care of your mom. Mom, kids, we got to take care of those folks. Absolutely. Your moms. So we definitely take care of those for sure. It's been fun. I do need to get off and switch the platform around. We've got the show coming up with our Front Porch Talking tonight. We go at 8 bells. Join us. We'll talk about something. I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll have fun with it. Shout out to you. Thanks, Dean. Thanks, Broski. Thank you, Andrew, all the others that came in. Some of you are just listening. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the Southern Fried Podcast. There's some really cool stuff coming down the pike, and we're excited about it. And more programming, different programming. And yes, thank you for your support. Absolutely. We're trying to grow every day, and I think we are. Give a follow to the Angry Conservative 1981 on Rumble. If you don't have Rumble, what's wrong with you? Get that Rumble channel. Absolutely. And follow us.
I only have Rumble.
And I got to get your Rumble straightened out. We're going to fix that while we're back here. When I go off the air, we're going to fix that. For those that have Rumble, for those in the content creator program like Angry and us and Killer Carl and everybody else that we've got a new requirement coming up in July, and it's important that you chat on the Rumble side at least once during the month. It does help us, and we appreciate that. Hope you enjoy your Friday night. Come join us on the Front Porch if you can, and have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay cool, and we'll watch racing this week and whatever else is going on, a little baseball, And we'll come back next week with our racing show and sports show again with Dean in the house, most likely. And we'll go out with some music. Thanks. Take care. Have a great day. Look for other programming because we're bringing it. Salute. SFP. We're out.